Welcome back to SoulSpark Word, where we tackle the biblical questions most people whisper about but never actually ask out loud. Today's topic? Brace yourself. We're diving into a question Christian couples tiptoe around more than a sleeping baby. Is foreplay a sin? Some believers think anything more than a handshake is worldly. Others think the marriage bed is a Christian amusement park. So, what does Scripture actually say? Let's open the Bible, clear the confusion, and talk honestly about intimacy God's way. What is foreplay? Let's define foreplay before someone in the comments says, "Brother, define your terms." Foreplay simply refers to the affectionate, sensual acts that build intimacy before sexual union. It includes kissing, touching, caressing, playful interaction, and emotional buildup. Now, if that description already gave you heart palpitations, relax. You're married. It's allowed. Now let's get serious. The Bible is unashamedly pro-intimacy in marriage. Let's look at Proverbs 5:18-19. Let your fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of your youth. Let her breasts satisfy you at all times. Be ravished always with her love. Scripture doesn't just tolerate marital passion, it commands it. It literally says, be ravished, not be polite. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5 adds another layer. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. This isn't a cold obligation. It's mutual care, mutual pleasure, mutual giving. This tells us something important. God designed marital intimacy to be holistic, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So foreplay, something that nurtures connection, is completely consistent with God's design. If anything, refusing tenderness may be the bigger problem. Because Scripture isn't a medical textbook or a how-to manual from the marriage section of a bookstore. The Bible gives principles, not step-by-step instructions like, turn page 86 for recommended kissing techniques. Instead, Scripture gives us the boundary, marriage, and the atmosphere, love, honor, mutual consent, and purity. Inside that boundary, God gives freedom. Song of Solomon is the Bible's PG-13 romantic poetry. And believe me, the Jewish rabbis did not give this book to children until they turned 18 for a reason. Let's read Song of Solomon 1:2. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. There goes your no-kissing argument. Song 4.5 and 7.6-9 describe the husband admiring and caressing his wife's body. Song 2.6 shows physical closeness and touch. These aren't two Christians sitting stiffly on opposite sides of a room quoting memory verses. This is affection, desire, anticipation, everything we call foreplay today. The lovers in this book take their time. There is tenderness, excitement, and physical connection well before the actual act. So biblically, foreplay is not only allowed, it's modeled. Let's look at key principles that govern intimacy. 1. Mutual consent, 1 Corinthians 7:3-5. No spouse is a dictator, no spouse is a prisoner. Both partners must agree on what they're comfortable with. 2. Love and honor, Ephesians 5:25-33. If your approach to intimacy is selfish, forceful, or demeaning, it's sin. 3. Purity in the marriage bed, Hebrews 13:4. The marriage bed is undefiled, but don't bring sin into it. Adultery, pornography, abusive behaviors, anything degrading foreplay must honor God and your spouse. 4. Avoid practices that harm conscience, Romans 14:23. If something violates your conscience or your spouse's conscience, don't force it. When these principles are respected, foreplay is not only permissible, it becomes a God-honoring expression of unity. Common Christian fears about foreplay. Fear 1, it feels worldly. Nothing about affection in marriage is worldly. The world didn't invent intimacy. God did, the world just cheapened it. Fear 2, won't this lead us into sin? Inside marriage, the sin is usually neglect, not passion. Fear 3, isn't this too much pleasure? If God didn't want married couples to enjoy intimacy, He wouldn't have built the nervous system that way. Blame the Creator for making pleasure receptors, not me. Help us bring the word back to what it actually says, not what men have twisted it to mean. So is foreplay a sin? No, there is no biblical prohibition against foreplay. None. Foreplay aligns with the biblical celebration of marital pleasure, affection, and mutual enjoyment. That might shock some of you, especially if you grew up in a church where any sexual talk outside a mechanical missionary position was considered scandalous. But here's the thing, foreplay isn't about shame. It's about connection. It's about intimacy. And Scripture actually celebrates marital pleasure, affection, and mutual enjoyment. Now don't get it twisted. Foreplay can become sinful, but it's not sinful by nature. Let's break that down. When foreplay becomes sin, foreplay becomes sinful only in certain situations. Here's where couples need to be careful. 1. Coercion. Forcing your spouse into sexual activity is a sin, full stop. God designed intimacy to be mutual, loving, and consensual. Think about it. If one spouse feels pressured, guilt, or shame, it's no longer a gift. It's an offense against God's design of love. 1 Corinthians 7:5. 2. Imitating pornography. Using pornographic habits or techniques outside of biblical context turns foreplay into lustful sin. God didn't design intimacy to be a Hollywood performance. He designed it to be shared between husband and wife. 3. Involving fantasies about someone else. Desire for someone outside your marriage is explicitly sin. Matthew 5:28. Foreplay should never feed adultery of the mind. 4. Manipulation. Using sexual acts to control, guilt, or manipulate your spouse is sinful. Foreplay should never be a weapon or bargaining chip. 5. Outside marriage. Any sexual activity, including foreplay, outside the covenant of marriage is clearly forbidden. The act itself is not sinful. Misuse, manipulation, or selfish motives are what make it wrong. Why some Christians feel guilty about foreplay? Let's get real. So many believers wrestle with guilt over foreplay. Why? There are 3 main reasons. 1. Religious conditioning, not Scripture. Some Christians grew up hearing, sex is dirty, sex is shameful, don't even think about it. So, even within marriage, anything intimate can feel forbidden. Here's the truth. Scripture celebrates marital passion. Look at the Song of Solomon. God made sex good. He wants couples to enjoy the gift of intimacy, not live in fear. 2. Past trauma. Not everyone comes into marriage with a healthy view of touch. Some survivors of childhood abuse struggle to feel comfortable with any physical affection. Even innocent caresses or a kiss on the cheek can trigger anxiety. Healing takes time, and foreplay may feel awkward or scary initially. The biblical principle here is patience and understanding. Ephesians 4:2. Foreplay should never feel rushed or forced. It's about building connection. 3. Pastors avoiding the topic. Here's a huge problem. When leaders refuse to teach on biblical sexuality, couples fill the silence with fear, shame, or guesswork. Fear thrives in silence. Knowledge frees you. God designed sex with multiple dimensions in mind. Intimacy, sharing your body, heart, and soul. Affection, gentle touches, kisses, hugs. Exploration, discovering what your spouse enjoys. Closeness, feeling emotionally connected. Excitement, anticipation, playfulness, laughter. Preparation, building emotional and physical readiness for intercourse. All of this is part of foreplay. God is not anti-pleasure, he is anti-sin, and foreplay in a loving married context is blessed. There are couples who schedule weekly date nights that end in playful extended foreplay. They say it strengthened their emotional intimacy more than anything else. God designed marriage for moments like this, so foreplay isn't a sin, not according to Scripture, not according to biblical principles, not according to the Song of Solomon, not according to God's design for marriage. Foreplay is a gift, a tool for bonding, a way to express love, a way to deepen intimacy. a way to prepare each other emotionally and physically. If it is mutual, loving, and within marriage, the Bible gives complete freedom. Your marriage bed is not a courtroom. It's a covenant. Enjoy it, celebrate it, cherish it. Thanks for watching SoulSpark Word. If this teaching blessed you, like the video, share it, and drop a comment.